Manchester City drop points against Crystal Palace to pop open the title race once again. Will Liverpool take advantage? We're going to take a look at it. And we're going to take a look at it live. Let's get into it. That's right, folks, but we're back once again with another Premier League prediction video today, or stream. We are live, and we're going to take a look at Matchday number 30, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe to get your bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. I'm rocking my old German gear here, well, it's not hot off the press, but of course, it's pretty still new to me. But we are live. We're going to take a long, hard look at it, of course, as Crystal Palace done the world a favour, kept the title race well on track, as they, of course, snatched a good point against Manchester City. What's that done to the table? We'll look at it, all of it, in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. Who are they? They're the Patreons, guys. Thank you for your love and, of course, behind the scenes. But anyway, we are live. Let's go into it, of course. Get your picks in there ready. We got 7 matches on the agenda for this week, as, of course, this weekend will be a FA Cup weekend as well. So, and, of course, we're heading into the international break. So, Wandsworth is in the house. Make me a shout out to you guys for stopping by. So, let's get into it. These were the games, of course. A bit of a stretched week of fixtures. So, let's get a deep end. Wolves against Watford in the Battle of the W's was a 4-0 win for Wolves. It was 1-0 win was for me. Meanwhile, Leeds, of course, under Jesse Marsh, they took on Aston Villa way back when. And, of course, they lost 3-0 in the end. 1-1 draw for me as well. Southampton against Newcastle with a zinger. 2-1 win in the end for Newcastle. As I think Southampton took the lead on that one. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2-1 it was in my way. Shaded on the house, respect to as well. Norwich City against Chelsea, just a 3-1 win there for Chelsea. 3-0 for me on that one, of course. Brighton of Albion, of course, could not beat Liverpool at home. 2-0 win it was for Liverpool. 2-0 for me as well. Crystal Palace against Man City, hot off the press. 0-0 final score on that one. 3-0 for me. Of course, City looked good, but Crystal Palace were very, very decent defensively anyway on that game. Arsenal against Leicester City, 2-0 it was. 2-1 for me. Brentford against Burnley. Whoa! They could be going down. Oh, that's right. Burnley, of course, lost to Brentford. Happy days about that one. Chelsea, of course, with a 1-0 win over Newcastle. Lastminute.com there. Everton, of course, in trouble as well. 1-0 loss to Wolves. Southampton, 2-1 loss again to Watford again. Leeds United, of course, Norwich City, big win for Jesse Marsh's boys, opening up a bit of a gap between themselves and going down. And United, all the goals in this one. I remember the 3-2 win myself. The other way, though. But, yeah, good win for United. Good goals for Ronaldo. And, of course, the Claret and Blue derby. 2-1 win it was for West Ham. 2-1 for me. A lot of games there. Not so many looking forward, but we'll get to it in a minute. Let's take a look at, of course, what these guys are waiting for is the prediction league. We'll get to that in a second. This is the table. I think it's as it is. 4 points. The gap is now. City lead the charge over Liverpool. Who've got, 7 points cushion over Chelsea. And then Arsenal, well and truly in that race for 4th spot. They've got 3 games in hand on City. Wow. They win both of those. They could actually maybe even challenge for 3rd. Goodness gracious me. Down the foot of the table, it looks like Norwich are going down, but who's going to join them? Will it be Burnley? Will it be Watford? Will it be Everton? Will it be Leeds? It looks like Brentford are getting themselves a good bit of gap between themselves and going down. 8 points to distance now, but of course a lot of games still to be had between now and then. Let's take a look at the prediction league. Here we go. Where's it? Wandsworth is in there in 7th, but Shane O'Donnell top bins there with 999. Call the police. Of course, even Hussein's up there with you as well, and Shepherd as well. Niner, something. Whatever it is. Brooklyn 99. There you go. And yeah, big shout out to the rest of the guys. Big shout out to the patrons as well, kicking ass and taking names. What about the mini leaderboard? Well, this is the mini leaderboard for the back end of the season then. When I say 56 points, well done to you. And Hansworth's up there in 2nd. Look at that. But again, it's the mini leaderboard. The next time you see me, of course, in the Premier League gear right here, we'll have a look at the master leaderboard. We'll also have a look at the winner of the prediction of the month for March, because after this weekend, we roll into the international break. We'll see what happens after that one. Of course, if you want to get involved, /Premier League, it is free to have a go. So now is the fun bit, guys. If you have never watched one of the live streams, we hardly ever get to them these days, but we're going to have a crack at these ones and we're going to do them live. What I'm going to do is break down the numbers. What you're going to do is stick your predictions in the chat, but also make sure you stick the predictions in the old the website or down below, whichever way you want to go. So here we go. Just 7 games on the horizon. We're going to take a look at Brighton up against Tottenham Hotspur, of course, at the Amex. Scheduled to take place on the 16th of March. Now these two sides have played each other 12 times since 2005. have 2 wins for Brighton, 9 for Tottenham, and just 1 draw, of course. Brighton, though, coming to this on the back of 5 defeats in a row. Of course, just 1 win and 6 for them, 17% form up against the Tottenham side, who've won 3, lost 3 of the last 6, 50% form for them as well. The biggest win for Spurs over Brighton was a 3-1 win. The biggest win the other way. Ooh, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. I've got a lot of things blocked, so yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. Yeah, just tell me who's going to win. Just say Spurs win, Brighton win, or draw. Ignore the numbers because I have had to have them blocked. But anyway, the biggest win for Spurs over Brighton was a 3-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. Brighton have actually scored 12 goals to Tottenham's 20 over the course of those 12 matches since 2005, which works out at a 1, or do it like that. Do it like that. 1 goal a game ratio for Brighton, 1.67 goals a game ratio for Spurs. Last time they played each other over at Brighton was, of course, a 1-0 win for Brighton back in January 2021. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture was, what are we looking at here? The reverse fixture hasn't taken place yet, so they've got to play each other again sometime later in the season. They also played each other in the FA Cup. It was a 3-1 win for Spurs. That was back in February. But, of course, heading into this one, Spurs with a 3-2 loss against Manchester United. And, of course, Brighton did a 2-0 loss to Liverpool. Of course, the odds for this one, 23-10 is your Brighton, 5-4 is your away win, 23-10 is your draw. I don't know, guys. Yeah, you're going to have to do it, yeah, like Hans Worst or Man United fan. But Man United fans go with a 2-1 win for Spurs. Hans Worst going with a 3-1 win for Spurs as well. And Shay O'Donnell's gone for the mystery because I don't know. I just can't know. But I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Spurs on this one. Another 3 points in the bag. Spurs closing in and maybe another push for top 4. Kicking on forward, though, it's Arsenal. No, it's not. It's Everton up against Newcastle. Taking place at Goodison Park on Thursday, March 17th. Bit of a relegation 6-pointer, you can imagine. Newcastle pulling away with it for the time being, but of course could get stuck back into it with a loss at Goodison Park. 54 times they played each other since 1993. 22 wins for Everton, 21 wins for Newcastle, and 11 draws, of course. Everton, though, just 1 win and 5 for them. 33% form up against the Newcastle side. Just 1 defeat at the past 6. 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, Newcastle have actually the biggest win over Everton was a 6-2 win. Meanwhile, the biggest win for Everton over Newcastle was a 3-0 win as well. 77 goals scored by Everton over Newcastle. 76 scored by Newcastle over Everton, which works out around about 1.41 goals a game compared to Everton's 1.43. Last time picture at Goodison Park was a 2-0 win for Newcastle. That was back in January 2021. The reverse fixture over at Geordie Land, St James's Park, was a 3-1 win for Newcastle. That was back on the 8th of Feb, not too long ago, was it? Everton, of course, back-to-back games without scoring a goal. Meanwhile, Newcastle did lose to Chelsea last time around. The odds for this one, though, 7-5 is your Everton, 9-4 is your draw, 21-10 is your away win, of course. So the bookies are keeping it quite tight. I think they're giving it to Everton on this one. We've got some picks in the house. We've got Man United fans going with a 2-1 win for the Geordies. Hansworth 2-0 win for the Geordies as well. Shane O'Donnell, I can't tell. I cannot tell because I've got certain things blocked. You're going to have to write it a different way. I'm just telling you. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw myself on this one. Point split right at the minute. I think Everton will be the happy out of the two sides because I think Newcastle want to kick on moving forward. Next up, we have the game of the week. I'm sure it's Arsenal up against Liverpool down at London. Of course, down at the Emirates. Of course, now these two sides have played 68 times in 1993. 21 wins for Arsenal, 26 wins for Liverpool, and 21 draws, of course. Arsenal, they're winning 5 of the bouts. 92% form for them right now. Up against the Liverpool side, just 1 defeat at the past 6. 83% form for them heading into this one. The biggest win for Arsenal over at Liverpool was a 4-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 4-0 win. Of course, that's in the last 68 games. 106 goals have been scored by Arsenal over Liverpool, and 132 goals have been scored by the Scousers against the Gooners, of course, which works out around a 1.94 goals game ratio compared to Arsenal's 1.56 goal game ratio. Heading into this one, though, last time played each other down at, of course, the Emirates. Well, actually played each other quite a few times already, but last time played each other in the league was a 3-0 win for Liverpool. That was back in April 2021, nearly around about this time last season. Of course, the reverse fixture down at Anfield was a 4-0 win for Arsenal. That was back in November. They also played each other in the EFL Cup, and of course, Liverpool came out of that without conceding a goal, winning 2-0 on the away leg on the Academy Cup. Of course, they subsequently went on to win the thing. Arsenal with a 2-0 win over Leicester, of course, heading into this one, and Liverpool with a 2-0 win over Brighton heading into this one as well. Yeah, look at the odds for this one. 13-5 is your Arsenal, 16-5 is your 11-10 on. It's just Scousers on this one. Hello, Leeds 2022. Welcome to the chat. Of course, there you go. You got your picks in there. Shane O'Donnell's gone with a 3-1 win for Liverpool. Of course, Man United fans got with a 2-1 win for Arsenal. For Liverpool. And Hansworth with a 3-2 win for Liverpool as well. I'm going to go, of course, a 2-1 win for Liverpool as well. Me and Man United fan on the same wavelength. That's right. Kicking on forward, we have Wolves up against Leeds United coming at you. That's on Friday, 18th of March, of course, heading into the weekend. Now, these two sides, that picture 22 times, it's done 11 wins for Wolves, 7 wins for Leeds United, and 4 draws. 3 wins, 3 defeats in the past 6 for Wolves right now, 50% 62% form, just one win. The past 6 for Leeds United, that's 70% form for them at the moment. Of course, the Leeds' biggest win over Wolves was a 4-1 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. And of course, Wolves have only scored 31 goals compared to Leeds United's 26 over the course of the 22 games, stretching all the way back to 2003. Of course, Wolves come into this beating Leeds last round. Of course, in Molineux, that was a 1-0 win way back in, of course, February 2021. The reverse fixture at Ellen Road back in October was a 1-1 draw earlier in the season. Of course, Wolves with 1-1 win over Everton. And of course, back-to-back clean sheets for them. Meanwhile, Leeds with a 2-1 win over Norwich. Heading into this one, the odds here, 11-10 is your Wolves, 5-2 is your draw, 12-5 is your away win. Of course, again, you have to rewrite it a different way in the chat because I've got certain things blocked. Man United fans squeaked in there with a 2-1 win for Wolves. Handsworth with a 2-0 win for Wolves as well. And again, if you want to get them in quick, get nice and early, nice and fast. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Wolves as well. Me and Handsworth reading off the same hymn sheet this time around, so he's got my notes this time. Into the final 3 now. That's, of course, well into the weekend. And we've got Aston Villa up against Arsenal. Let's take a look at this one. Of course, double bubble for Arsenal. Good chance for them to put 6 points on the board this week. We'll see how they do. Played 53 times, of course, heading into this one. 9 wins for Aston Villa, 30 wins for Arsenal, and 14 draws. 1-3, lost 3 of the last 6 for Aston Villa. 50% form for them. Up against the Arsenal side, of course, before this week, of course, winning 5 of them out. 92% form for them at the moment. Of course, the biggest win for Arsenal over Aston Villa was a 5-0 win. The biggest win for Villa over Arsenal was a 3-0 win. And Villa have only scored 48 goals compared to Arsenal's 98 when these two sides have played each other over the course of those 53 games, which works out around about 0.91 games a game ratio compared to the 1.85 goals a game ratio for Arsenal. Of course, the Gunners come into this losing to Villa last round at Villa Park back in February 2021. The reverse fixture down at Emirates was a 3-1 win for Arsenal back in October. Of course, Villa picking up a 2-1 loss against West Ham, and of course, Arsenal winning against Leicester, of course, but again, losing to Liverpool earlier in the week in my eyes. Of course, we've got a couple of picks in the house. We've got Handsworth with a 2-2 draw. Man United fan with a 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Of course, it looks like a couple of guys are hoping more than anything else that Arsenal don't win this week on this one. But of course, the odds, we have 13-5. We have 21-10 is your Aston Villa, 12-5 is your, and 13-10 is your Arsenal. Unfortunately, I'm going to back Arsenal to get a point here. 1-1 draw in the end. And again, me and Handsworth pretty much on the same wavelength. Into the next 2 then, it's Leicester City up against Brentford, of course, coming at you on Sunday, March the 20th. Now, of course, limited Premier League action this weekend because of the FA Cup at the same time. There will be a video for that later on in the week. King Power Stadium, of course, Leicester City have played Brentford 3 times in 2020. 3 wins out of 3 for Leicester, nothing for Brentford, and of course 0 draws. 2 of those games have been in the FA Cup, and all 3 of them have been at Brentford. So they never played each other at the King Power, but Leicester City coming to just 1 defeat past 5 for them. 67% form against the Brentford side, of course, back-to-back wins for them. Ericsson effect, 42% form for them at the moment. Last time they played each other, though, in the Premier League was a 2-1 win for Leicester. That was at Brentford. That was back in October. Of course, Leicester with a 2-0 loss against Aston Villa. Leicester with a 2-0 loss to Arsenal last time. Brentford with a 2-0 win over Burnley last time. The odds for this one coming at you, even Stevens is your Leicester, 5-2 is your draw, 11-4 is your away win. That is Brentford on this one. We got what do we got here? Handsworth 3-1 win for Leicester. Shane O'Donnell with a Leicester win. That's how you do it. A Manchester United fan with a 2-1 win for Brentford on this. So a bit all over the place, really. Of course. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you guys are going to go. It's pretty even, Stephen, across the board there. Going to go with a 2-0 win for myself, for Leicester, for me, on this one. Into the final one we go now. It's a bit of a London derby. Of course, it's Spurs. It is West Ham. It is at the Fancy Pants new stadium. Now, these two sides have played each other 57 times in 1993. 28 wins for Spurs, 19 wins for West Ham, and 10 draws. 1-3, lost 3. Tottenham for the last 6. Of course, they will be beating Brighton earlier in the week, of course, but taking on West Ham, who have actually picked up 2 wins in the past 6 for them, 42% form for them in the moment. Of course, over the course of those 57 games, Spurs' biggest win over West Ham was a 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-0 win. In fact, Tottenham have scored 83 goals compared to West Ham's 68 over the course of those 57 games. 1.46 goals game ratio for Spurs, 1.19 goals game ratio for West Ham. Coming at you though, last time they played each other at Tottenham Stadium in the Premier League was a 3-3 draw back in October 2020. They also played each other at London Road, was a 1-0 win for West Ham back in October, and they also played each other in the Carabao Cup. And of course, Spurs came out on top with the quarter-final with a 2-1 win at the Fancy Pants Stadium. Of course, Spurs did a 3-2 loss against Manchester United. Of course, West Ham with a 2-1 win over Aston Villa to put themselves still in the hunt for European places. Coming at you though, 65 on is your Spurs, 11-4 is your draw, 3-1 is your West Ham. We've got some picks in the house. We've got Manchester United fan with a 2-1 win for Brentford. That's the other one. Worst is gone with a 2-1 win for Spurs. United fan 2-1 win for Spurs. Leeds 2022 got with a 2-2 draw, and Shane O'Donnell's gone with a Spurs win as well. For me, not for me, no, but for me, I'm going to go with a win for Spurs here. 2-1 win in the end to make it 6 points on the bounce for Spurs and put them right back on track for a race for top 4. That, my friends, I believe is pretty much all I've got for you. But be sure to get your picks in, not only in the chat, but also in the link here, Cutley4Premier League. Get your name in lights, and of course, next time we see you in this outfit right here, we'll have the Premier League, whatever it is, the what's it called, the Premier League Predictor of the Month, and of course, bring your bang up to date with the Master Leaderboard. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here. If you want to ask me any questions, hit me with them now. Of course, it's pretty. I'm going to try and get this stream to bed pretty soon because it's probably late for where you guys are in the world. I've got to get the dinner on for me later on. So, any questions while you got me? If not, I'm going to bounce out. But of course, I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks very much, of course, for this spontaneous live stream. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow with another live coverage for watch along. Hopefully, Blackburn Rovers can get the win. Hopefully, we can maintain our ambitious top 6 push. But right now, it's looking a bit sloppy. But I guess not. I'll let you guys go. Until then, be safe out there. Smash the thumbs up, please. Give us some loving on the old algorithm. Of course, I'll see you soon for the next one, whenever that is. But until then, we're done right here. Thanks for watching. See you later. Until then, I'm done right now. Ciao, ciao, ciao.